I know from this point our lives are going to change, and I knew it because you see all the proof with your videos. We went for it, we handed our notices in, and then we quit, and then started property full time.
And you've made a profit of how much in the last 3 or 4 months? Shy and Charlotte, welcome to my house.
Thank you.
So you had a dream of coming on Winners on a Wednesday. Did you think it would happen this fast?
Not at all. It's been on our goals list. We did it when we first joined, and now to be here is absolutely crazy.
Great. So how did you guys meet, and when did you decide you wanted to get into property?
So we met about 3 years ago. About 3 years ago, we used to work together, and it's just I wanted to go on property since I was a kid, and we've always spoke about it.
I mean, we were both in full-time jobs. So I have a legal background, so I was, working my dream job technically, fashion label for you, wasn't it? So we were both grafting away and we wanted to get into property, saw your videos, and I remember seeing all these people on Winners on a Wednesday and thinking, if they can do it, why can't we? Of course we can. So that's kind of where it went from there, and then I wanted to join the academy. I remember seeing all your videos. That's when I messaged you on LinkedIn, said, right, this is for me, I want to join and our lives are going to change.
And how many months ago was that?
4 months ago.
4 months ago.
And since then you joined the academy, you've both quit your jobs.
Yeah, we
And
just handed our notices in.
You've got lots of different experience with different deals now, development, rent to rent, deal selling, and you've made a profit of how much in the last 3 or 4 months?
35k. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you.
How did we first meet then?
So I think you've mentioned it before on the course that I came to last. I think I'm the first person that ever joined the academy blind. I think.
I don't think you're the first.
Oh.
Maybe. What do you mean, how blind was it? What happened?
So I'd never met you before in my entire life.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to any courses, we hadn't been to any events. I just, after you sent the videos,
and then it was just
and then found the academy, and then that's when I messaged you on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised that you responded, but from there that whole way you respond to everyone, which is amazing. And then we got chit-chatting about the academy, and then Chris called me, and then from there I was like, yeah, I want to sign up.
I think you're the first person actually, that's ever attended the academy without meeting me in person first, having an interview, but you were just on the phone, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You spoke to one of our training advisors, we went through your criteria all on the phone, and then you registered for the academy and dropped a lot of money.
It was out of the blue. Literally, we was in Edgbaston we drive around looking at houses all the time.
Yeah.
And then she literally just turned to me and said, I'm going to join.
And that's £12,000 investment. How did you feel about that, Shy?
Honestly, it was just a case of,
Our lives
I don't know,
changed.
yeah.
That's one thing that I was saying, because it was £12,000, but at the same time I kept saying to Shy, I know from this point our lives are going to change. And
Yeah.
I knew it because you see all the proof with your videos.
Yeah.
And then we went for it, we handed our notices in, and then we quit, and then started property full time.
That's risky, I have to say. I would not advise that to my folks watching this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't watch a couple of YouTube videos and then go, you know what, forget it. I'm joining the academy, I'm quitting my job. Because normally it's come down to a £1 course, meet me, and then think about it, and then we can slowly work towards getting you to that point. And then obviously the academy is like the top end, mountaintop experience. So you went from nothing to unlimited mentoring, coming down to my house, having all of the coaches, access to so much, all of the contracts and everything. What happened then?
Yeah, we went to our first course. So within the first month, of course, we were doing the online training.
Yeah.
And then we went to the first course.
Which one was it? Which was the first course?
Deal selling masterclass. Went to that one. We'd already done the training, so one of the mentors said to me, kind of have some deals ready if you've got any. And then that's when we had our first ever deal ready. We went to the training.
We was going to
loved
viewings every
it.
day as well.
Yeah, it was just such good energy. We loved it, and then that was when we ended up selling our first deal.
Hey!
So
So you sold your first deal on the first day of the Deal Selling Masterclass?
yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. How much did that bring you in?
2,000.
1,000, yeah.
$2 grand.
And that was a 5-bed HMO.
Yeah.
5-bed HMO in Coventry, high spec, very high spec.
When you sold that and you saw the money come in, obviously I know it's $2 grand, it's not a huge amount of money, but did that kind of give you the confidence that this is doable, this is possible?
100%. I'm very optimistic as well. I think that's why we took that leap of just leaving our jobs, because we're very big on if you want to achieve something, go full force and you'll achieve it.
How's it going now then? This is now fast forward, 6 months?
So that was our first month, so then 3 months on from then, so it's been 4 months as a whole.
And how's it going?
Well, in terms of the deals, we sold about £35,000 worth of deals.
Damn.
She's amazing.
That's like an annual salary right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But like this, I was on 21k last year. So to see going from 21k for the year to 35k in 3 months is insane.
And that's just from deal selling?
Yeah.
We've got one essay as well.
Yeah, we've got our essay as well. But we also secured our essay at the Deal Selling Masterclass as well, because it's a JV with someone in the academy.
That's the magic.
So
That's the magic of the training program.
Honestly, it's been a major blessing.
So your rent to rent.
Yeah.
How did you secure that?
So it was actually with Chantal on the academy. So it's a JV. So she brought the opportunity to us and said, do you want a JV? And we're in Birmingham anyway, so we were like 100%, it's city centre. We went to view it, but it was all secured kind of while we were there anyway. And yeah, from there, we just kind of set it up. Profits are amazing.
How much profit did it make this month?
£1,600 profit.
Oh man, again, that's almost a full-time salary. 1,600 just this month.
Yeah.
It's really
That's
good.
crazy.
It's really good, honestly. And it's convenient for us because where our office is, it's about 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
So do you guys have an office now as well?
Yeah, so we've got an office on Broad Street. And
What's it called?
Bayside Tower.
What's your business called?
High Living Estates.
So you've got High Living Estates in Birmingham. You've got a little office that you rent.
In a high-rise building.
Oh man, you guys have proper made it now. You know you made it when you got an office with your company name on it.
Yeah, it
That's
is
just
nice.
awesome. How does it feel? Like, does it feel crazy how successful you've become so quickly?
It is a bit surreal. I think the biggest thing for me is I went from watching your videos at work every day to then it becoming a day-to-day thing. Mm-hmm. So the things that we was learning about, reading about, we're now doing every day, and it's a major blessing, honestly.
Well, when we spoke on the phone, and I remember saying to you, I just knew that Charlotte was going to be extremely successful because I think you knew it though, didn't you?
Yeah.
You weren't joining the academy to mess around.
No.
You weren't joining the academy saying, I hope this works, cross my fingers. You were joining saying, this is going to work, this is what I'm going to do. The academy is going to be a tool to help me get where I'm going anyway, but I'm doing this, and this is my mountain, and I'm getting to the top. Where does that kind of fire come from?
I think both of us always naturally had it in us. We always wanted to live a lifestyle where we were happy and comfortable and, you know, like future children for etc., generational wealth. So that was kind of always where we were at. And then when we kind of realised with property we could take it there, we had to take the risk. Yeah. It was a no-brainer for us. And then I think one thing as well, because we did quit our jobs, we had that hunger. And I feel like that's what really pushed us, was the hunger for it.
What would you have done if it hadn't have worked, or was that just not an option?
Not an option.
Honestly, I always say failure is not an option. And if it doesn't work, there's a reason it hasn't worked. Analyse why it hasn't, and go straight back to it.
When you sold that first deal at the Deal Selling Masterclass, and do you remember at the training when you were on the phone making calls on the...
What do you mean?
Yeah, I was recording you. I was stood right behind you listening.
Yeah.
You didn't even know it. But you were good on the phone. And when you sold that first deal, did you have a plan of how you were going to, like for instance, when you do deal selling, you need to have an investors list, you need to be compliant, you need the expertise to know how to sell, you need good deals. Like, what was your game plan and how did you go about building such a successful deal sourcing company?
I think it was the training where we really realised, okay, we can network here whilst learning. And then as soon as with Robin, with his deal, we sold that, we just kind of thought, right, okay, it's been sold now, what do we need to do? Because we always wanted to look at the customer journey as well, kind of the client, customer, investor journey. So from that point, we approached people, didn't we? I think I stood up at one point as well, and I was a bit cheeky, and I was like, I've got 2 deals.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing that's amazing as well about your courses, is that you have the opportunity to stand up and speak. And for people that, you know, they're a little bit more shy and they don't want to, you just need to go for it. Because I don't like standing up and speaking, but I did it.
Even you said at the end as well, you had people queuing up waiting
Yeah,
to
there
see
were
you as
people
well.
after that, and then when you mentioned the success that I'd gone through and I joined the Academy blind, there was a queue of people at the end of that event waiting to get my contact details.
You've also been you've not been selling houses, you've also been selling land, development opportunities, big deals right down to the smallest deals of doing like just basic rent to rents. Where are you finding all these deals? Like, where are they coming from?
Honestly, one thing we always do is networking is a massive thing for us. So from messaging hundreds of people on LinkedIn to going to networking events, reaching out to, one thing that you say as well is you never know who around you's got money to invest. So a lot of our connections as well are from people who we've known for years. Yeah. We've got a plot available now which is 3 acres, asking prices around 3 million. And that's through someone I've known for the past 7 years. But I would never have thought that that's the position they was in. So it's
So deal selling then, so what, you're literally just matchmaking. So you've got a friend who's got some land, he wants to sell it, you're then appraising the site, looking at the deal, making sure it stacks. You're then finding an investor and they're paying you for the introduction.
Yeah.
And then what happens if they pay you a fee and then they see the land, they come out and they're like, oh man, this is not what I thought, this sucks. Like, how does it, expectations and stuff, how does that all work contractually?
So we kind of still use the same basis as a rent-to-rent deal. So with 14-day period, of course with land it's slightly different because things can take a lot longer.
Yeah, I think we always try to make sure that the investor is happy.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is, yes, there's a contract there, but you also need to be very reasonable with your investors. So I think that's one thing that we are big on, to be reasonable. You know, they come and see the land, if they're not happy, they're in their 14 days or anything like that, it's fine, you can walk away.
And that means 14 days, you're talking about cooling off period. So that if they pay you money and then they see it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is atrocious, I hate it, they can get a refund.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think business is about fair exchange, isn't it?
100%.
And it's about win-win.
Yeah.
So it's about making sure your contract is fair to them but fair to you. So where are your investors coming from mostly?
It's a mix.
Yeah, definitely a mix.
As I mentioned, I think there's a lot of platforms that I didn't realise were so useful. Facebook being one, which is amazing. We just have investors just messaging us, do you have something in Bristol? Do you have something in Birmingham? And then straight away, add me to your mailing list. Straight away. We always get that. We go to networking events, we meet people. Even their friends and family are like, oh, I want to get involved in Rent to Rent. Can we book a meeting? So now it's just a wide range.
We get a lot from LinkedIn as well, especially on the land side of things. LinkedIn honestly has been...
You guys are very active on LinkedIn, like very active. Probably more active than I am.
I feel like especially on the larger scale things as well.
Yeah.
That's where the business owners are, the land buyers are, etc. So for our target audience, LinkedIn's been the best platform in regards to finding new investors.
Question, how hard is it selling the deal, getting the deal over the line? Because once you've got the deal, you've got the investor and you're on the phone.
Yeah.
Do you have to really use some serious sales skills, or do you find that investors are just absolutely desperate for deals right now?
And it's more so based off the information you're providing. If you've got enough useful information, then you kind of don't really have to do much talking. It's a case of you provide them the information, as long as they've got enough to go off, then they'll make that decision.
What happens if you give them the information and then they steal the deal?
So recently there was an occasion where this almost happened. So we have a connection in Coventry with an agency and we work exclusively with them, which is amazing. So any properties on company let, they literally just pass them over to us straight away. They're like, they're yours, which is amazing. And then we were sending some information over to an investor who was interested in a potential rent to SA in Coventry. He's obviously saw the video, and because it was city centre postcode, he then found it online and called the agents.
Wow.
But then the agents called us straight away, like, oh, is this your client? He's called us.
Oh my, that must have been so embarrassing for him.
Exactly. So then we had to go back to him and say, look, we have got an exclusive agreement with the agency, so if you want it, you need to sign your terms and
That's
conditions.
funny. And that's the thing is, it shows the importance of having a good relationship with the agent.
Definitely.
Because people can't do that when you've got a good relationship with the agent. And also, I assume as well, sometimes you might use non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah.
I think as well, when you're selling a deal, what I've personally found, when I'm selling a deal, the biggest thing that's helping me sell that deal is my reputation. When you build up your reputation as a deal sourcer, with me, I can almost say to an investor, I'm not even going to give you the figures. I'm not even going to give you the city where it is. All I'm going to say is, you're going to be happy. Pay me the money, sign there, and if you're not happy, I'll give you a refund in 14 days.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I would never say that. But my point is, firstly, I'm going to listen to what my investor has to say. Yeah. What are you looking for? What's your budget? I'm going to really understand what they're looking for. And then if I say to them, I've got an opportunity, damn, I can sell bespoke deal source, and I can say, give me $1,000, I'll go find something, and if I find something in the next month, give me another $2,000. If I don't, I'll give you the $1,000 back. It's when you've got a reputation, it's so easy. And I think one of the things that I'm seeing with you guys as a company is because you're looking after your investors.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about you guys. All I've heard is good things. I've heard people say, oh, I bought a deal off them, I've joint ventured with them. It's all been positive. And I think within the community, within the academy, because people are seeing that, even if you've had things go wrong, you've refunded, you've put things right.
Yeah.
I know you have. My point is that you're getting to a point now, I think, where you're probably getting more investors wanting to do deals with you than you've even got deals.
Yeah.
So talk to me about co-deal sourcing and how you're now in the community helping people with co-deal sourcing. Talk to me about what that is.
So co-deal sourcing is where you have two companies, so one will have the investor and one will have the deal, and then you come together and you get that sold. So for example, if you don't have the investor to sell that deal to, but you've got an amazing deal, you can then collaborate together, sell the deal, and then you split the finder's fee, so you've both benefited from it.
Yeah, and we do this. We have sometimes people come to us because their investors might be specifically looking for HMOs, and they might come to me and go, oh man, I've got a land opportunity, but my investors aren't looking for this, so they'll pass it to me, I'll sell it, but we'll split the fee. So what would you say about co-deal sourcing? What would be the advantages to you? Why would you want somebody to bring deals to you for you to sell it? Why would you not find your own deals?
I think at the moment for us, our investor list is just growing more and more each day. And of course, we're based in Birmingham, so we have investors that want deals up north or down south. So of course, we'll try our best to get to viewings, etc. But I think co-deal sourcing is brilliant where, for example, someone's not compliant, they find us a deal in Liverpool and we've got an investor waiting for a deal in Liverpool. We collaborate together and then we've both benefited amazingly from it.
We've got some investors that look for deals, Scottish border. So it's the thing where, for us, it's a bit of
One of my pet hates is when people come to me and they're like, can you sell me this deal? And I'm like, okay. And then I speak to my investors, and then my investor's like, yeah, that sounds good. But then when I actually go to appraise the deal, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, this ain't a deal.
Yeah.
This is just a house. And there's actually nothing special about it. It's not below market value. It's not a good ROI. It's just not a deal. And my advice would be, if anyone's wanting to bring deals to deal sources for them to partner with, first thing is, get good at finding deals.
100%.
And then when you get good at finding deals, there's plenty of deal sources like you guys and Lewis and Mal, loads of people that will help sell those deals, but first get good at finding the deals. And I think that's also why it's great doing business with other people on the academy that have also had the training, because then they're not bringing you rubbish, they're bringing you good stuff. Does that make sense?
I think that's as well why there's a lot of trust in the academy, which is amazing. And I do think as well that is why we sold our first deal so quickly, because naturally in the academy, you all trust each other, you all want to help. I mean, even with that first deal, we didn't just kind of sell it and say, there you go, have fun. You know, we then helped Robin stage the rooms, we went with him on key collection day, we took pictures, we made an experience out of it, which was really, really nice.
What has been the hardest point of being full-time entrepreneurs?
I think I had a wobble. I definitely had a wobble.
Yeah.
I think it was within the first month. So we'd sold the first deal and then we were just kind of waiting to get another gone and we were trying really hard.
We're still figuring things out as well.
Yeah,
There's a lot of still learning while trying to be full-time.
And then of course, because we quit our jobs, I was getting stressed thinking, oh gosh, how are we going to pay our bills?
Did you have like savings though?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had some savings at least.
We had savings, we were okay.
Yeah.
But of course you always want to elevate. So I was getting stressed. I had a little day, I had a bit of a cry. And then it was funny because I had that day and I had a bit of a cry. And then that week we'd sold like 3 deals, didn't we? So it was like I had a wobble for no reason.
Yeah.
But it happens. I think it is difficult when you just take the risk.
Yeah.
Try and be a business owner.
What's the plan now moving forward? Like, you're still quite new. You've done £35,000 profit over the last few months, which is incredible. You've got a rent-to-rent deal that's bringing in very good income. In say, by the time you finish the academy, which is in about 7 months' time, what's the plan?
I'd say developments. I think with me going into property, it was developments that got me interested.
Yeah.
And I think for us now, deal sourcing is bringing in the income for us to then be able to put into the developments.
Yeah.
And ideally, we want to get a larger scale development.
Yeah. And even with people on the academy like Lewis and Mal, we work really closely with them with deal selling as well. And we've mentioned a JV on a development, either up north, and we're going to go visit their projects up north. So again, it's another example of how amazing the academy is to connect. And if we want to do a large scale development, there's people on the academy we know we can go to straight away and they're like, yep, let's go.
Yeah.
Even some of our clients have said if we're open to a joint venture, even then they're open to that as well.
That would be amazing.
Honestly.
What has been the highlight since you quit your jobs and went full-time property? Has there been a moment where you're just like, yes, this is like it. I'm so glad that we did this.
I think maybe this month.
Yeah, this one's been insane.
4 deals. Alongside with Lewis and Mal, but we sold some as well, but we sold like 4 or 5 within the space of a day or 2.
Wow. So in how many hours? 17 hours?
17 hours.
How much did you make in those 17 hours?
So it would have been...
Like 12,000? Yeah.
12 grand in 17 hours.
This month's been the craziest month.
And that was a tough week as well.
Yeah.
We was having a tough week that week as well, and it kind of just happened instantly.
Yeah. What would be your biggest advice to somebody that's new in their journey? that's getting started, in terms of like practicalities or tips, what would you say is your best advice?
It's not going to be smooth sailing and it's not going to be easy. This is one thing I think when I was getting upset, we said a lot of the times, if it was easy, everyone would be business owners. Yeah. But they're not, because unfortunately there's people that are stuck in the 9 to 5. So 100% I say it's not going to be smooth, it's not going to be easy, but if you keep pushing.
Stay persistent.
100%. Like Winners on a Wednesday is proof that it works.
Yeah.
Like we're here now because it's proof that it works. So I think resilience is the biggest thing, and also education. That's why they need to come to you to be educated.
I appreciate that. What's your experience been like on the academy and going on the courses and stuff? I know the network's been amazing, but how would you summarise it?
Energetic and just so positive. Like it's just the whole vibes of when you are on the courses and you're with the people, everyone has that energy. You can do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think a lot of people, they do think, oh, I can't do it. But you come there and you just straight away you leave and you think, I can do this. I can be a property millionaire.
Yeah.
So many people say it.
Yeah. I think belief's important as well, because if you believe something, you'll find the evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
And if you're watching Winners on a Wednesday, for instance, thinking, oh, well, what's my, you might go, oh, well, they already had money, or they had a good job, their parents helped them, this. And if you don't believe you can do it, you'll desperately try and find something to back up your belief. Whereas if you think, actually, you know what, I believe I can do this, then you'll watch the videos and it will massively propel you and motivate you.
And that's the thing with us, everything we talk about, we want to achieve, it's never, oh, we'd love to do this, it's when. Everything's about when it happens.
Yeah.
Everything that we want to achieve, we know we can do.
Yeah. You correct me sometimes, don't you? I say if, and he's like, no, when.
Correct.
Even with Winners on a Wednesday, that's one of the things that's on our goals list for this year.
Yeah.
That's ticked off, and it's
amazing. I can't believe we've ticked it off so soon as well.
You've done amazing. And listen, I'm sure we'll do a part 2 in another year where you've got a bunch of developments and stuff, and we'll follow your journey. I just want to say massive well done, and you guys are a great partnership. You're a massive asset to the academy, and I'm really proud of what you've done and excited to see you continue to progress.
And thank you for the academy and the training. It's been brilliant.
I appreciate that.